I.S.U.P.K. 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 The home of the truth, nigga. Started out in one West, nigga. I.S.U.P.K. Tell me why would you? Tell me. It's 613 commandments, nigga, and you can't do 10, my nigga. Matter of fact, you can't do 1, my nigga. Let's see if you can stop eating pork. I see that pork juice running down your fork. Talk about you blessed in the streets of New York. I see that tight Christian 3-piece suit that you bought. When you gonna rock that? When you go to court? Maybe Sunday, better get Easter. I blast at you masters, knowledge reigns supreme over all you teachers. Pedophile supporters, cool rigor mortis. Your niggas out of order. When Christ return, you hear the screams in the chorus. Now read Revelations 6 and 17. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? Tell me why would you? Can you tell me? It's so wicked, disgusting society that we live in, man. And we gotta separate from the society. We gotta separate. How long does the white man have to murder and kill for you to realize he's a goddamn devil? How long does he have to murder and rape and arrest and shoot unlawfully for you to realize this white man is a goddamn beast?
All he does is rape, murder, steal, and plunder. You understand that? And as a result, they destroyed our people. And as a result, our people are running around with the goddamn Wu-Tang Clan because there's a Jewish imposter on the planet. When you take away a man's identity, you can replace it with anything. That's why we're in every religion.
And what I'm telling you, what I have to teach you, every race does it automatically. You don't have to teach Asians to join themselves. You don't have to teach East Indians to join themselves. You don't have to teach Arabs. When them Africans come over here from Africa, you don't have to teach them that. You don't have to teach the Vietnamese. You have to teach us. You have to teach us.
Sharp. Now Wood. I'm about to get to everybody want to be in my face. Crazy. They want to be in my face, man.
L.E.S.
My whole bid was surrounded by years, months, days, hours, and minutes. Now that the bid is finished, brothers want to meet me at the line of scrimmage. Like this is football. Course I ball, I put my foot in y'all. Y'all could go and kick rock. Should've known when I come home, I'll be hotter than a melting pot. I'm focused. Didn't set it out, know what the hell I'm pursuing, know what the hell I am doing. I told your dudes I read New York like Patrick Ewing. You captured like an up north flick. If you own the team like Isaiah Thomas, why the hell you in New York selling Knicks? You don't understand my problems, and I see you're not gonna help me to solve them. I guess I'm all alone, just me and my money and my microphone, huh? Just me and my microphone, huh? When you wide of sight, huh? You wide of mind. Brothers on the streets, huh? Contain the crime. They don't even keep you inside their minds. Cause when you wide of sight, huh? You wide of mind, huh? When you wide of sight, huh? You wide of mind. Brothers on the street, huh? Contain the crime. They don't even keep you inside their minds. Cause when you wide of sight, homie, you wide of mind. You know who I am, the next $1 million man. Why you wanna shit on me? Don't wanna set it out for me. It's all good, I'm back in the hood, doing things I should. 2 years locked up, and your brother still tripping wood. What's the meaning? More parole, a brother scheming and triple beam, infrared beam, stroke beaming to your face. Your brothers is dreaming. Holla at you, kid. Stuff I done did. Y'all dudes and ruin the stuff I done did. I'm the reason why dudes are getting deals in the lower east. This is my house. Trying to take your dudes off the lease. How your dudes are putting mixtapes out without shouting out me. B. Jones, me, myself, and my money and my microphone. And my microphone. When you buy the sight, you buy the mind. Brothers on the street, can't grind. They don't even keep you inside their mind. Cause when you by the sight, you by the mind. When you by the sight, you by the mind.
You're 215 and 973. I'm good at any area code where I be. You ain't gaming right if you don't play for keys. My bitch focal, and she like the sweet. You're 215 and 973. I'm good at any area code where I be. You ain't gaming right if you don't play for keys. My bitch focal, and she like the sweet. Like the 203 went to 646. It was 347. We was in that bitch since 69. We've been making hits since pissy mattresses was making flips. A gourmet dishes, cereal and grits. Empty wallet feeding 50 kids. It's fucked up if that's how we live. Fucked up if that's how we live. With a millionaire.
The coronavirus pandemic has now claimed 5 million lives. Nearly 2 years after the first outbreak in the Chinese city of Wuhan, COVID-19 remains the leading cause of death around the world.
After the U.S. warned all day of a full-scale Russian invasion of Ukraine, that it was imminent, Vladimir Putin has just addressed the Russian people moments ago, announcing what Putin called the start of a military special operation, in his words, to demilitarize Ukraine.
Russia overnight launched its long-anticipated attack on Ukraine, striking military posts across the country. An unprovoked war in Europe is now underway.
Let me tell you something, black man. I wish, I implore you, I beg you, brother, to open up the Bible, turn the music off, tell your woman go in the other room, and just open up the Bible and start checking it out. Write down these scriptures we talk. I don't care what religion you're in. I don't care what you believe in. Examine this for yourself, man. I did not understand life until I opened this book.
Why is Hebrew Academy so important to you, and why is it so important for you to graduate this generation?
Because I got a duty to my people, to my family. It's so important to me to do this, because if I fail, then my whole family fails.
So I can help my people. I want to care about my brothers and sisters. All these other nations keep oppressing us. I want to make this change with my brothers. It's important for you to graduate Hebrew Academy.
It's important for me to graduate Hebrew Academy so my brothers can see the strength that can pull them out from the hell, the condition that they're in. Man, it's important for me to graduate Hebrew Academy to protect my brothers and sisters, man, and stand strong for my nation.
Oh, God.
Why do you think it's important for you to go to trials and graduate Hebrew Academy?
So I can be a real nigga.
Real nigga, huh?
Oh, God, sir.
Michael, why do you think you should go to trials and graduate Academy?
We follow the man above us, sir. Title 5.
It's all good either way. We in there now? What's going on, fam? Commander General YAHANNA, ISUPK.com is the website. Glad to be up in the building with you tonight. Talk about a couple of things, man, that we mentioned about earlier. It's our chance to get up in it, and talk about it. First of all, okay, the situation that took place at the Oscars was just so much bigger than just Will Smith and Jada and Chris Rock. Like what happened at the Oscars it was indicative of our whole life. Will Smith did Jada Smith did to Will what America's been doing to us for 400 years. It's the exact same abuse, man. Because what Will doesn't understand is that he's the victim of abuse. He's the victim of having a woman who gets control of you and then abuses you and belittles you and lowers you as much as she possibly can. He doesn't understand that the whole reason he went off on Chris Rock had nothing to do with how he felt. It had he laughed when the original joke was said. He laughed along with Chris Rock. And why did he do a 360-degree turn? Because it's called abuse. It's when somebody psychologically abuses you so that you don't operate based on your best intelligence or based on your own feelings and thoughts. You react the way that abuser has trained you to react based on what they say and do towards you. And that's what happened to that brother. He needs serious therapy and he needs some separation away from that monster that he's dealing with. And another thing too, man, this is something else to learn too. A lot of brothers come up and say they don't want to do what their father did. They don't want to abandon their wife the way their father abandoned them. I got bad news for you, man. You ever think about that father abandoned your mother because he had good reason to abandon her? You ever think that he abandoned that mother because she was such a monster and so intolerable that he knew it was better for his manhood to walk away than to sit there and have her use the power of America to destroy him? A lot of women jump up and say, well, there ain't no excuse. He should have stood up with him. You know, every incident doesn't mean you got to stay with the woman that's your wife. Because what you don't understand is that your wife is not the only person in the room that you're fighting. You're fighting the entire empire, America, and its way of life and its thoughts and all that. You know how many brothers argue every day with trying to tell their wives how to dress, how to not dress like a hoe, but she pushes to dress like, even if she's not a hoe. In many cases, she pushes to dress like a hoe simply because that's what she's taught in America. You turn on Amazon or whatever thing that they sell things on, and they got spandex on, halfway see-through spandex, all kind of, booty shorts, all of that. And so a brother might be like, look, man, you my woman. I don't want you dressing like that. But the pushback is everything that's being taught by America. And so you fight more than just you and that woman. And let me tell you something, Mark. It's very rare that a real good woman is alone. That's a rare thing. Like a woman that is kind and gentle and caring and supportive, she could be the worst cat in the world. In his most delusionist state, it's rare he's just going to walk out on her. 9 out of 10, your husband walked out. Not all cases, and especially not the case if he's on drugs. If he's on drugs, that changes the whole dynamic of the entire situation. But in many cases, man, your wife, your husband left out on your wife because he couldn't deal with her, because she was intolerable, and America backs it up. That's why they got such a huge, I'll take one to what they have such a giant campaign against with domestic violence. What the hell is wrong with me? Domestic violence. So when you got a whole bunch of domestic violence, man, the whole social structure is destroyed. And what happens is, because America backs her up, a lot of times you fighting more than just the immorality in your house. You fighting a whole structure of the empire that's against you, man. And brother, that's something to man that is very, very difficult to battle. And let me tell you something. Black men are in that state every day. Right now, the same thing that Will Smith did is black men doing all day, having emotional explosions against everybody around them, and with these outbursts, getting violence. And that comes from the same low self-esteem that we've been beat down with in this empire. You understand? Just think about it. A woman that abuses you, she's gonna lower you. She's gonna talk to you like you're garbage. What does America do? Treat you like you're garbage. You're black and Latino in America, you're treated like a second class citizen. So lock you up too many hours, man. Like a second class citizen. And so as a result, you get abused, and eventually you want to lash out. And that's what happened in that same situation. Jada Smith is a narcissistic pedophile. That's what she is. She's a narcissistic, child molester. And it's sad. It's sad what happened to Chris Rock based on her. Even though I heard that his tickets is going through the roof. People are going to his show like crazy now over the whole thing. We're going to get a little bit into the audio of it. And that's good for him, man. That's good for him. Because our people, man, we done lost our way when it comes to justice. This man go up and smack the hell out of Chris Rock. And we act like he did a good thing. Like it was fine. Like it wasn't that big a deal. You understand? And all of it come, like I said, for having a wife that is abusing you and you attempting to stay with her no matter what, even though she's abusing you. And as a result, you act out. You act out. And that's what happened with him. Right now, Will Smith is not even operating on his own page. And the same thing to blacks and Latinos. Black people, David Chappelle said something. David Chappelle said something that was heavy. David Chappelle said that black people have two voices. Y'all remember that? He said black people got two voices. That's such a true thing. Like we got one attitude based on how we deal every day, among ourselves. And then we have another spirit. The majority of us, except of course us in here in the I.S.U.P.K, we got another spirit in which we deal with this white man, this empire over. And it's different than how we deal with each other. It's a different personality than how we deal with each other. And that is from abuse. The average human being doesn't have more than one personality. Then why is it that blacks and Latinos have a different personality when amongst themselves than they are when they under the slave master? That's called psychological abuse. You understand? If you are, a monster when it comes to you and your own people, but then you go downtown and you just as polite and respectful as you could be, you dealing with two different personalities. And it's normal life to you. When that is the symptom of serious psychological abuse. And again, he laughed while the joke was being made. Then he turned, looked at her. She gave him the rolling of the eyes and the look, and he lost it. He lost it. That is psychological abuse. I feel sorry for the brother on a certain level because he doesn't know that he's caught up and tied up in it deep. I'll bet you that the rest of his extended family probably don't see him much. He's living a fully fake, phony life, trying to hold on to something that wiser brothers in the street learned a long time ago. Wiser brothers in the street. Now you know why. And Esau always said, why black men always leaving their kids? Why black men always leaving their family? Now you know why. You know why? Because enough abuse, both by the empire and by a wicked woman, will make a man flip the hell out. And rather than kill some of these women, a lot of these brothers will turn around and say, well, look, I'm just going to leave. I'm just going to leave. Okay? Get me Deuteronomy. Stick with me for a second. Give me Deuteronomy where the Lord said that about a man leaving his children. You know which one I'm talking about? Please hit me. Tell them where you at.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you.
The man that is tender among you, meaning a man that's, young and vibrant. He ain't all messed up. He's tender. He's not a overly aggressive person normally. And let me tell you something. The 12 tribes of Israel, they are the most gentle people in the world. Even though they're portrayed as violent and wicked and evil, we've been here 400 years. We ain't committing terrorist acts. We ain't bombing and blowing up place. You go to any of these other countries who haven't even been under this kind of condition, nowhere near this kind of condition, and they doing 10 times worse. Thank the Most High that our people are such peaceful, righteous people. Because of that, we don't do those type of things. A lot of you tried to go out and follow the Arabs and take on the Arabs' way of life and do the same thing and end up in the penitentiary under the FBI. Because you tried to do something that another nation does instead of trusting in the Most High. We are gentle people. Go ahead. Normally, you know what I'm saying? Make no mistake. We the most courageous fighters in the world. You understand? Don't nobody beat our people in no ring, in no sports, no physical ring at all. You put these 12 tribes together and can't nobody beat them. But yet they still the most peaceable people on earth. The most fiercest fighters, but yet the most peaceful people in earth. Go ahead.
Kanawakan, sir, and very delicate. His eye shall be evil toward his brother.
You hear what he said? His eye will be evil towards his brother. How was Moses able to get that from the Lord and to show that to us? Your eye will be evil towards your brother if you and your brother are oppressed. And the man that's oppressing you is pitting you against your brother just the way an abuser does. That sister done did a psychological destruction of Will Smith long before the Oscars. A decade plus before the Oscars, she been did a psychological destruction on this brother, man. And I'm saying it to say that that's exactly what you suffering in America. Why the hell you don't break your spirit? Like the same way we tell women, why don't you get away from your abuser? Why don't you leave your abuser? That's what the hell we should do. We should break from our abuser. We should break from thinking like an abuser, our abuser. We should break from trying to be like a puppy dog under our abusers. That's what Will Smith need to do. And guess what? That's what blacks and Latinos need to do. That's right. We need to break from that so that we could go serve the Most High. And the thing that's holding you back from serving the Most High is that you have an abuser. All right. What else you holding on it? You die on that in terms of scriptures on it. Because let me tell you something. I'm watching this thing and it's all over social media and it's going over and over again, right? And as I'm watching it, I'm saying to myself, man, this is really something. This is so what happens to us and so what we do. This is us shooting each other in the hood. This is us doing drive-bys. This is all that you see going on in the hood is exactly what happened to Will Smith. And for the same reason. Will Smith acted out because he's under the spell of an abuser. And you act the way you act because you under the spell of an abuser. You love another man more than you love yourself. Will Smith loves Jada more than he loves himself. Will Smith will stay with Jada for a belief that he should never leave her more than his common sense to say this woman is abusing me. Let me get the hell away from her. That would be common sense. Common sense would be my father left my mother and I didn't like it and I felt it was wrong. But I don't want to leave my wife because I don't want to do what my father did, but she's abusing me. So I got to leave her. That's what a sensible person would do. And if you're a sensible person, you'll do the same thing when it comes to the mindset of this empire. You are abused here. And that's why, you know, an abuser, right? A person that abuses another person, like in an abused relationship, they never apologize for what they did, or they never look at what they did as wrong. They blame the victim. They beat that woman up and then say, yo, see what you made me do? See what you did? You did this. That's how they psychologically abuse a woman. Well, guess what? The empire does the same thing to us. That's why they don't give you justice when they shooting us dead, or when they pulling you over in the car, dragging you out the car. They can't give you justice, because if you get a sense of justice, you will fight back against the mental destruction that's happening to you. You'll want to break from the mindset of the place. So they have to make sure that you remain in an abused state, in a state of never getting justice, in a state of always being a victim. And so that you get used to it. And now they have you to it. Then now they can abuse you. And that's what happened to this brother, man. Not that I feel too much sympathy for him, because he took it to violence on another brother unnecessarily, man. He took it to violence. And once again, in the UPK, we exercise the brotherhood. And the exercising of the brotherhood is how you get past all of the abuse and the suffering that you've suffered in this empire. By the time you make it to class, you'd have been mistreated on the job. If you got a woman that's in the world, you've been mistreated by her. You've been mistreated by the people you're dealing with on the subway. You've been mistreated by the mechanic that's supposed to be fixing your car. You've been mistreated by the guy that fixed your lunch, left the damn pickles out, or whatever the case may be for that day. And all of that will lead you to going off on another brother, if not for the truth. And it is exactly what happened with Will Smith, man. That man is a victim of abuse. And I can't believe in all Hollywood, all the comedians and actors and actresses is acting like they don't know what the hell is going on. And you said Regina King, was it Regina King that said something? Regina Hall. Play that tape if you can. Can they hear that tape if you play it right there? Oh, you got that one on YouTube. Play that part of the clip. Can you do that? The part where she joked about Jada Pinkett having power over Will. And that's why the Lord said, man, give not your strength to a woman, man. No matter what, it's better you die than you give up your soul and be controlled by a woman. It's not her place. It's not her place, and it's not her authority, man. And that bald head, man, that bald head was saying, I want to be in charge. Let's go back and now this is a subtle exposure of how people, you know, actors and actresses in Hollywood know that this is going on. They know this is going on. And you're going to see it in what Regina says. Go ahead and play it so we can we hear it in here?
Yes, sir. SHALAM, Tyler Perry, Simu Liu, and wait, Javier Bardem. Oh, you're still with Penelope. You know what? Actually, no. Your test is fine. It says that you're married. Negative. Will Smith, you're married, but you know what? You're on the list, and looks like Jada approved you, so you get on up here. Get on up here. So you get on up here. You're married, but you know what? You're on the list, and looks like Jada approved you, so you get on up here. Get on up here. All right. Now,
What she was reflecting, you can bring it back to me. What she was reflecting was what's really going on. You know, what she was reflecting was that Jada is really in charge. You can just hand it to me, unless you got ice. You don't have ice. No, just give me the can. Okay, like the water. Like she was reflecting who's really in charge, which is Jada. That's why she said it. Jada approved it. You come on, you die.
If I could, sir, Jada didn't get up there and slap Regina.
No, she didn't. She didn't. She wasn't insulted by that. You know what I mean? And that's why he joked around like he ain't coming up, but he loved it. And that's psychological abuse. You understand? You know you have psychological abuse when you act out other than how you really are. Brothers that have been molested in the hood or abused by the cops, why you think they violent? Because they done been abused by law enforcement, abused by the system, the banks, and so that they lash out in anger. Never lashing out at the right person. You understand? Like they don't never say, yo, it's this white man is the one oppressing us. Instead, they lash out at their brother the same Will Smith lashed out on Chris Rock. For the same reason, not seeing who your abuser is and breaking that bond of abuse that's on you. And that's what's happened to us. Give me what scriptures you hold, because you got a ton of good ones hold.
First Ezra chapter 4, verse 26. Yea, many there be have run out of their wits for women.
Many brothers ran out of their wits for women. That's Will Smith. He lost his wits. And we and blacks and Latinos, you lost your wits here in this empire. That's why you self-blame. When abuser abuses a woman, that woman always believes that the punishment she's receiving from her abuser is her fault. She get beat up by the cat wrongfully, she still finds a way to blame herself. I did something. They showed that real good in the Tina Turner movie. When that's what's happened to you in America. In America, you blame yourself. Black people always doing something wrong. Black people got to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. Black people need to stop blaming the white man. All those are abusive statements, whether you know it or not. Whether you know it or not, those are statements that come from somebody that is psychologically abused and is blaming themselves for what another nation is doing to them. You've been in slavery 400 years, but you blame your people more than you blame the slave master. That's psychological abuse. Come on. Oh, come on. That's psychological abuse, man. And that's something you got to escape, just like he got to escape. And it's going to be a horrible day for him when he escapes it. When he gets away and sees how he acted and goes back and look at these tapes and see how he acted out and everything he been doing all these years up under her spell, he going to bug the hell out. He going to say, I can't believe it. I was totally not myself. He going to be like, I was totally not myself. And that's you in America, black man, Latino man. You're not yourself. You ain't acting like yourself. And just like an abuser, what does an abuser do, man? When an abuser's trying to abuse a woman, he separates her from her people. Separate her from her parents, her friends, her family members. Well, guess what? That's what your slave master did. Separated you from your nation, wiped your nation out. You don't even know who you are. Took all your culture away from you, your clothing, your dress code, the food you ate. Took it all from you. And left you stripped bare naked, and you were open now to be abused, to act like the person that's abusing. Man, oh man, that's sad. That's sad. That's why they got to have TV shows about how to have a relationship, how to deal with children, how to raise children, reality shows. They fighting back and forth. They're able to do that, and they're able to program you with that because you've already been destroyed psychologically. And that's what Will Smith's going through. And he has no idea how to get up out of it. He need to come back to West Philly, come to the I.S.U.P.K, and get counsel.
Mm-hmm. If I may, sir, I was just thinking that earlier today. I was like, damn, you know what's crazy? Like I.S.U.P.K has so many great things that every Black and Hispanic man needs. Like every Black and Hispanic woman needs, is really the counseling the sound mind that you get from being in here over time and from wise men
and from learning these scriptures
and from
finally
learning
what these scriptures are saying. Like if you finally get to learn, I didn't mean to cut you off, Mariah. Go ahead. Let me let you finish. Like I meant to say is like finally getting the breakdown of these scriptures is what gets you right. And listen, let me tell you what was so heavy about what you said. Millions of people are not in the UPK yet, right or wrong. Let me explain to you why. What does an abused woman say when you, as their family member, come to them and say, you know, he's abusing you, sis? What does she say? That's not true. Oh, I fell down the stairs. I bumped into the door. Go ahead, Mariah. Go ahead. Oh, damn, Mariah. Yeah, man. I bumped into the door. She does exactly what we do. When you come out on the street and say, y'all need to wake up, the white man's the devil. Brother, stop blaming the white man. White man helped me, man. A white man got me through college. Ain't no white man robbed me, but plenty of black people robbed me. Those are all statements of somebody who's been abused. They're all statements of being abused by the empire. And here you are, you just like that family member. They see the bruises, see the depression on the person that was abused, and you on the sidelines saying, yo, you got to stop. You're not being treated right. You're not handling right. And they making excuses. They trying to, no, that's not the case. I keep ticking him off. That's what an abused woman say. That's us. No, this is happening because we need to get education. We ain't going to college enough. We're not taking advantage of what we're supposed to be taking. We blaming us for being abused by the slave master. That's what happened to Will Smith. Will Smith need to come to West Philly and say, can I speak to Commander General YAHANNA about all this madness in my goddamn head? Because he need to be, go ahead, Mariah. He need to be psychologically, reprogrammed out of that madness. Go ahead, Salaki.
If I could, sir, what you're saying is so heavy, because that's exactly where I was going with it. Like I seen a movie yesterday, ATL. Mm-hmm. It's an old movie, came out a few years ago with T.I. and all the rappers, right? Mm-hmm. And the part of the movie was the woman he loved was lying to him about where she was from. She was really rich, but acting like she was from the hood. And his boy found out. So when her dad came to get her in front of everybody, he was like he was embarrassed because he was in front of everybody. So when she came to apologize to him at his house, he around all his homies. So she come up asking, try to apologize, ask for forgiveness. You know how a man is. He told her to go ahead. But then when the boy who knew about it came to try to talk to him about it, like, look, this was going on. He said, you ain't my friend. I ain't dealing with you. You can get the hell out.
He turned on him.
And then not only that, after the friend left, because the friend got mad, like, why you turned on me? He went and kicked all the other friends that was innocent out. So because of his situation, he went and abused everybody else that was innocent. And it's just like how you say, like, we the ones saying, look, man, you gotta come back to the Most High. We getting mistreated. It's like y'all racist. Y'all,
yes,
it's the same. Like they push us away.
Like I.S.U.P.K is the family member that's trying to tell the other family member, listen, you being abused. You got to get out of that relationship. You need to break from that person. That's us. We the ones saying you being dealt with domestic violence. We're saying it to Will. And then when they reject it, what happens? You go in the world and get violent. You shooting each other. You joining gangs. You selling dope. We being whores. We doing everything we shouldn't be doing, but we doing it to please the slave master. You ain't a gangster because you woke up one day and decided you was gonna be a gangster. You a gangster because you turned on the TV and watched Godfather 1, Godfather 2, Godfather 3. What's the one with Al Pacino where they was drug dealers in Miami? This Scarface. Oh my God. Brothers used to have them VHSs in the bookshelf. It was like damn near required videos for the hood. Scarface, you know, all the movies like that. Those was movies that the slave master wanted. Our music. The slave master's the one approving what music get played and what music doesn't get played. So that he's, as an abuser, he's giving you the music that demoralizes and belittles you and makes you nothing. He does that so that you could be lowered like any abuser does. So he can psychologically take your mind from you. And anybody that come along and tell you, yo, man, you need to get out of that, you get mad at them. Nigga, later for that nonsense, man. I'm on my way to college, man. Meanwhile, a third of the brothers and sisters coming out of college can't get a job. They're taking over the HBCUs. You understand? Go ahead, Marah.
If I could bring out one more
Come
point
on
that you
with it,
said
bro.
yesterday.
That's why we here.
About how in the hood, I mean, not yesterday, Monday, about how in the hood, when you come through with that whore and brothers look at you like, I know you ain't feeling her. That's how we are in the I.S.U.P.K. We the ones saying, yo, this whore, yo, like, I know you're not feeling America.
We shining a light on you. We like, do you see what you're doing? Do you see? That's what we doing. We like, do you see this? Go ahead, Marah. Go ahead.
You know, the whore that sit on many waters. I know you're not feeling her.
Right.
Babylon, like, you can't be feeling her. You know, look what she did.
Yeah,
look at her rap sheet. Yeah, you know.
Exactly.
And people, they turn on her. Oh, you hating on me. You know, our brothers be in the hood.
You try to tell, you know, she was running with Bobby and them. They ran a train on her. You know what I mean? But you like, man, she decent. She not. DMX brothers was making fun of that DMX song where DMX said, I love my baby mama. I never leave her. You know, that DMX song. That's a perfect analogy of us in America. I love America. And America requires it like any abuser. Abuser requires that they be loved by the person they're abusing. Even if they don't show the person they're abusing any love. You ain't got to show black people no love, but you can require it of them. You can require it of them. Like it don't have to be no even trade. I remember when Obama first got elected, they turned around and said, well, what is Obama going to do for black people? They said, well, Obama don't have to do anything for black people. You understand that he's the president of all of America. In other words, the abuser, the abuse victim can't act like they deserve anything. That's why he had the meltdown. It was no way in an abusive relationship that Will Smith could get an Oscar while Jada did not. And it all go smooth. That would have been just too much for that abusive woman. For that narcissistic child molester, he could not just win the Oscar and be celebrated as a great star, because an abuser, they got to always be in charge. You can't be the one on high and they on low when they're the one abusing you. Like a pimp don't let you be on high. He beats your spirit down. So you got low self-esteem. So you think of yourself as nothing so that he can make you do what he wants you to do. He don't want you to think clearly. And that's what's happened to us here. We don't think clearly here. We ain't clear. That's why the Bible is such gold to us. The Bible is such gold because the Bible allows us to look into a world and a time on the earth that's not this time. But yet, we can compare the world we in now to the world that's written in that Bible, and we can see, oh, this is how they handle that. Like the same with what do they say the solution for Stockholm syndrome is? To confront your abuse. You know what I mean? Like that's the remedy for it. And so it's the same thing. It's like we open the scriptures and shine a light on you and say, yo, this is what you live in. You have been a slave in his place, just like you was a slave in Egypt. So our people, the first time out, it's like, what are these crazy Negroes talking about? Because, of course, in our abused mind, we don't think that we're a slave. Just like a prostitute, a whore don't think she is living a disgusting, horrible life. She thinks she's on the come up. Just like America, we getting there, y'all. Oh, it's so the exact same thing. We getting there, y'all. I know we got a long way to go, but we going to get there. What did Martin Luther King say? Well, I made it to the mountaintop, and I looked over, And I may not get there with you, but I'm here to tell you, we as a people shall make it to the promised land. That's exactly what a pimp does. Girl, I know we down now. I know we suffering now. But we're going to go out here and get this money, and we're going to be riding in gold and rolling in diamonds. So let's go on and get that. And listen, and he is going to be riding in the rolls and rolling in diamonds at your expense. And when he get it, you're not going to get a piece of it. You just going to get the dream that you could have it the same way. It's the exact same thing. We've been psychologically abused here. And Will Smith has done exactly what an abused victim does. And she's a full-out monster against him. She didn't love that young boy. That's why she left him. What's his name? August Senior or whatever. She didn't love that kid, or wasn't. That boy was a tool to abuse Will Smith. That was a tool to show him he was not the man he think he is. That's what an abuser got to do. They got to bring you down. So that's what she did to him. She abused him to bring him down by using this young boy and taking pictures. That's why everybody put the two pictures together. That picture right there is so famous because everybody compares the two pictures. Her with the two men, which is, listen, the one on the left is used to make the one on the right feel old, feel not adequate. That's why she came out and said, Will doesn't satisfy me sexually. Who could satisfy a hoe sexually? I mean, I don't even understand that. Like, who could? You understand? Like, you laying on these silk sheets and rolling in these diamonds ain't satisfying you, then well damn, what can? They got to run an elephant through you? What the hell? Every man running through you. So what the hell are you even talking about when it had nothing to do with that? Had nothing to do with that. It was all about abusing Will. All about messing with Will's head because she needed Will to, one, have low self-esteem, which he got now, and two, to still pursue greatness in Hollywood so that she could be on top of the world, because without him, she would be nothing, man. And brothers should wake up and see this, man. And the whole reason y'all can't see, a lot of you defending Will Smith, well, that's his wife. You know, can't let nobody talk about his wife. You out your mind, man. The woman is a Hollywood child molester. And you acting like, I mean, degrading her husband at every turn. That wasn't about that, man. Brothers should see past what's on the surface. And a lot of you can't see it because you can't even see the abuse that America's doing to you. So I know you can't see this abuse. You can't see what Jada is doing to Will because you can't even see past your own abuse by this empire. You can't even see past the fact that for 400 years, you have been living as a second-class citizen simply because white people decided to say it for no other reason. And we got a saying about, here's another saying that's said by somebody that's abused. They say no matter how high you go, you know they always going to let you know who you are and where you came from. Anybody that says that statement is a victim of abuse. And that's us as a people. Come on, let's give me some more on them scriptures, and then we're going to get up off this story.
There's more on this one, sir.
Come on.
Khan. And become servants for their sakes.
And what?
And become servants for their sakes.
Go back, go above it.
Khan. 1 Ezra chapter 4, verse 26. Yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women.
All right, he ran out of his wits over this woman, trying to hold on to a dream that she reinforced. Let me explain to you how she did it. She knew that Will didn't want to leave his wife and children the way his father did. He saw the pain and trauma that his mother went through, and she probably talked about him, his father, like he was the worst creature on earth. A lot of women do that. That's psychological abuse, and a lot of women do it because their sons look like the father that left. So they abuse that father. They talk about that father while he's gone and unable to defend himself. They almost, this is such psychological abuse. When a child is forced to hate his father because his mother hates his father, that's psychological abuse. Tons of brothers go through that. You go to pick up your child, and your child is so glad to see you, but they can't show you it when you picking them up at the door, because God forbid that they turn around and show that father that they love him and miss him. So they got to pretend like they really don't like him in front of her because she requires it. That's psychological abuse. And tons of black women and Latino women have abused their children in that way. You hate that brother, so them children better hate him too. What you all happy for? I'm the one paying your bills around here. What he doing for you? What you so happy for? That nigga he don't do nothing for you. He ain't paying no bills around here. All that is psychological abuse. So the child got to choose now. He already got an undeveloped mind, and he got to choose between him and you. And remember now, I'm coming to you right now. Remember, August Acelia was Jaden, his son's friend. And any young black man, any black man in America, Latino man, Native Indian man, can attest to this. Any brother or friend of y'all's that was having sex with one of your friends, your mama was having sex with one of your friends, it messed you up horribly. I had friends, man, whose mother was having sex with other friends of mine. I didn't know at the time. I'm in the hood. I didn't know that this brother's mother was a full-out child molester. And she having sex with this young kid, it rips the soul out of your friend because it makes him worthless. Why? Because if his mother's a whore and his homies know it, that means he comes from nothing. And brother, you destroy a child that way. And that's what happened to us here. Our history is ripped away from us. Where's our black accomplishments against what white America did to us? Very few do you ever hear about. There's plenty of them, but there's very few of them you'll ever hear about. Nat Turner will never be as famous as Martin Luther King. Yet he did that and more. That's why they gave it to Harriet, because she's a woman. But let there had been a black Harriet Tubman, which there was thousands of them. You ain't heard of none of them because they don't ever want it to come out anything that black men have done for black people against white America. They can't have that. An abuser can't have that. An abuser can't have your family member around that stops them from abusing you. They can't have that. They got to get rid of you so they can abuse you. America did the same thing. America wiped out your whole history. You don't know who you are, what nation you come from, none of that. You see an African and psychologically, you automatically think that he's better than you because he got a nation, he got an identity, he got a culture, he got a language. Your woman wants him. Your woman thinks he's a better man. He got kente cloth and all that. Your woman thinks that that African is a better man than you. Simply because of the culture and identity that he has. That, my friend, is abuse. That's psychological abuse. And that's what you got to escape, man. Right. Will Smith needed to escape that, because if you don't escape it, guess what? You're going to do what Will did. You're going to turn on your brother and harm him. You'll have to harm him because you can't fight anybody else. And you refuse to fight your abuser. You refuse to fight your abuser. So you will fight your brother. Why you think Moses came down and the first thing he said was he saw two brothers fighting each other and separated them? Why were they fighting each other? They were fighting each other for the same reason. They were both abused by the Egyptian empire. And rather than, dismiss the Egyptian empire and come together themselves, they, being ignorant, was trying to please the Egyptian empire by killing each other. They was giving Egypt what it wanted, which was to hate each other to the point of death. And that's what's happened to us here. We hate each other to the point of death. Some of y'all killing each other and you done forgot the reason you killing each other. But you doing it, not even realizing psychologically that the empire is the one got you doing it, because that's the one abusing you, and you can't do anything about them. Which is why God gonna destroy this place with nuclear war. You wonder, why would God bring nuclear bombs down on this earth? Because of that abuse. That's how evil it is. Somebody, you had your hand up. Come on, Marah.
If I may, sir, if I could, what's so heavy about this is exactly what you were saying yesterday about brothers in the hood, and from what you're saying now, like when they deal with a whore, or when an abused woman is getting abused, the abuser always has a way to keep that person next to them.
Yes.
And it's usually, but I love you.
Oh, yes.
That's America. America, big thing is love. Christians come up to us and say,
every man is created equal.
God loves everybody.
Yes. God love everybody. Jesus died for all of us. You so right, bro. I don't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, bro. I do not mean to cut you off, because you so right. And listen, and what does an abuser do? When you get too angry with your abuser and you tell him, I want a divorce, I'm leaving, all of a sudden he do a 360-degree switch. Oh, baby, I ain't mean nothing. Forgive me. I ain't mean nothing by till you come back. Then he abuse you again. That's when you in an abusive relationship. That's the same thing happens to us. When we go to hell off, like we did over George Floyd, Dennis, we got to defund the police. We got to stop this kind of abuse. We got to call in the DOJ. We want a federal investigation. And then once all the smoke cleared, cops still dragging you out the car, busting your damn head open, locking you the hell up, yada, 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 yada. Nothing changed, because it was never intended to change. It was intended to abuse you in slavery for 400 years. You going to say something? You died? Come on, give me some more. You got some more in that verse?
All
right.
And become servants for their sakes.
And have become servants to them abusive women for their sakes, man. A man, you must guard your manhood, man, as a man, from wicked women, from whores, and most importantly, from an abusive empire that rules over your nation, man. You can't just go with whatever they decide they want to push on you culturally. They pushing an alternative lifestyle on you day and night. And if you ain't protecting your manhood, they going to push it on you. You going to get caught up and think, well, maybe I am gay. And maybe I need to try it. Or maybe I need to experiment. Or some other stupid idea trying to do what? Please your pimp, your slave master, trying to please the one that's got your mind. No other nation is supposed to have your mind. You think what they think. You react to what they react to. You angry about what they angry about. Malcolm X said it good when he said, the house niggas say, Master, are we sick? Master, are we? That's psychological warfare. That's why he said it. He was saying how our mind been brainwashed. So we think like the slave master. That's what happened to us here. That's what happened to Will. He thinks the way Jada thinks. Jada is the one making the decisions on his mind. He ain't making them decisions. He wasn't mad enough at Chris Rock was his friend. He ain't mad enough at Chris Rock to slap him at the Oscars over a BS G.I. Jane joke. He ain't that mad, but Jada is. Jada's that angry because the joke was at her. You understand? You got more on that? Come on, give it to me.
Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 3. Give not thy strength unto women.
Listen, that is biblical. Don't give your strength to no woman, man. You got to deal with a woman and take care of her and all that. You got to do all those right things. But the Lord said, don't give your strength to her, which means don't give her the authority and power over you. When she have your strength, that means she got power over you. That means she moves you how she wants to move you. You done gave your strength over to her. In other words, you don't have the strength to resist her or fight her no more. And that's what an empire has done to us. We don't have the strength to resist anymore. So now we just get abused. We just get abused. We just get no justice. We get no repercussions on the people that abuse us. We get no repercussions when we find out the scams and the schemes they do to us. We get no repercussions for the degradation and the things they say to us. We get no repercussions for those things. And because we get no repercussions, it gets reinforced that we have no strength. And once it's reinforced that you have no strength, then you turn around and you acquiesce to that abuser. That's why the people, when George Floyd was being killed, the people on the corner was right there screaming at the cops. But they didn't do nothing because we so used to not receiving justice that they couldn't do nothing. They saying something, they see it's wrong, they yelling at the cops, but really they don't do anything because they used to this. They used to not having any justice. You understand? Anywhere else in the world, the people would have been like, y'all better get up off him, and they would have just, got the cop up off him from killing him. But not us, because we used to being abused by them. We used to extreme force of repercussions. We used to that. And so therefore we stop fighting the abuser. We give our strength to the abuser. The abuser come along and take that strength. But guess who we do got strength for? That brother in the hood right next to you. Like, he can't fight Jada. Oh no, she got his whole mind. Psychologically, she got his whole mind. So since he can't fight Jada, who he go fight? He go smack Chris Rock for a simple joke. That's his way to lash out. Brother, that's deep psychological warfare. It's happened to us. Finish reading it, huh? Give me a time check.
Khan, sir. Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 3. Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings.
Right. You give your strength to a woman, brother, it has destroyed kings. And this is a perfect example. Will Smith is like a modern day king in this empire to a certain degree. He's one of the highest paid actors in America. Famous, wealthy, powerful, all of that. Yet, read that part again.
Khan, sir. Says, give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings.
Nor your ways to that which destroyeth kings. That's what she doing. And it's a lesson for us to learn, man. It's a great lesson for us to learn. This is a great topic and issue concerning our lives in this empire. And why, no matter how much you try to join your abuser, no matter how much you try to make this empire a place for all people, no matter how much you do it, you will never stop God from breaking you free from here. You will never stop God from bringing a nuclear war on this earth. You will never stop the Third World War or the judgment of the Lord. You'll never stop it because like any abuser, he beating her ass wrongfully, and what else you gonna do? He beating her ass, you got to stop him. She ain't never gonna say, I had enough. I ain't gonna let him do this to me no more. So you got to stop him. And that's what God going to do to this empire. God going to stop this abuser by waking you the hell up and saying enough is enough. Give me some more. Please. We're going to run all of those down that we talked about earlier. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. The book of Isaiah, chapter 51 and verse 20. Khan. Thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets.
You see what the Lord said? Thy sons have fainted, meaning the abuser has broken your sons. Black men, Latino men, Native Indian men, you broken. You broken. This man broke your spirit. You just want to get high now. You want to know where the weed at, where the pills, where the syrup. Where the hoe, you broken. That's what it means to be broken. You think it's cool to get high. When you don't understand, that's a simple symptom of a broken man or broken woman. That's a symptom of a person who's given up to their abuser. That's why you get high. That's why drug dealers, or not drug dealers, but pimps that want to abuse a woman, they get her high. Because once she's broken and she's given up, all she wants to do now is tune out. Because she's not living a life that she chose. She's living a life that her abuser chose. So to deal with the abuser in the life that the abuser chose, you got to be high. That's why brothers is high every day. They didn't choose. They don't want to live in the hood with bullets flying over their head every day. But their abuser has abused them into that state. So then they just want to get high. If you're living in hell in America, man, you should feel pimped. You should feel pimped out. You should know that you are a broken man. If you got to go every day and get some weed to get through the day, to deal with that job, to deal with that supervisor, to deal with the stress of even trying to raise a family, you got to get high every day, then you a broken man or woman, and you don't even know it. You try to make it like it's the bomb. Ooh, we're going to get high tonight. Yeah. You try to make it like it's wonderful when you are really using drugs to escape your abuse by the empire, man. And that's sad. Read it again. Go ahead, Marah. Salaki.
Oh, if I could add, sir.
Please.
That's so heavy because that's just like a prostitute. A lot of them prostitutes, sir, they be high as hell to deal with that lifestyle.
Yes. That's why we joined the military. We in the army. We trying to fight to be loved by our abuser. That's why yes, sir. We trying to be loved by our abuser, which is what a pimp does. He lowers the self-esteem of that woman, and then he turns around and makes her fight for his love by doing the things that he's abusing her to do, like sell her body. And that's us. If you love America, you would join the military. You would fight for America. And meanwhile, when they came back from the military, World War II, they was getting beat up off the train, getting off that train in that uniform. Them crackers in the South was beating the hell out their ass because it was like, you ain't never supposed to actually succeed. Like, that woman ain't supposed to succeed. She's supposed to always be in that state of trying to succeed. And that's what America's done to us. And they managed to work that thing for 400 years. 400 years, we still trying to find our place in America. And the proof of that was, look what they did with the Supreme Court judge. 2022, they treated her like a runaway slave that had a bad attitude. They treated her like a Banji girl from the hood. Give me an old ratchet girl that we know of that's famous. The most ratchetest broad you can think of. That's how they treated her. They treated that judge like she was a filthy pro-black. They treated her like she was a Black Panther. They treated her like she was a Black Panther. You understand? Like she had come out the Panthers and then got to the Supreme Court. That's how they treated her. And they treated her that way because, once again, to get up there, we have to abuse you. You're going to have to be the best hoe. You're going to have to bring in the best cash. We got to be able to pimp you right before we put you up there in that top seat. And that's what's happened to her. That's what she thinks she's doing something great. That's why we go out, every ball player go out and get a white woman. Why they do it? Why you do it? You get $100 million deal. First thing you do is go out and get a white woman. Why? Why would you do it? Because you're trying to please your slave master. Why all these top actors have white women? Come on, Marah. Come on, get up in here with me, man.
If I may, sir, this is another point on a prostitution. Everything that you just said is so heavy because when you said like a pimp, man. If I could, a pimp would tell a woman, "I did this for you. Who got you them shoes? Who did this for you?" Keep her high so she can keep working. Tell her, "Look, baby, I love you. When they ain't chilling, is I love you. I love you. I need you. I love you. You look good." Then when she mess up, she get abused. You beat on her, then you give her the drugs. But you tell her, who made you? Who, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like on every movie, that's the exact process that we in America is like, God loves everybody. That I love you talk.
We gave you civil rights.
We gave you civil rights.
You know what I'm saying? We were part of the March on Washington.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But look at the black famous people.
Yes.
Look
Look
at
where
all
we
the
come
superstars.
from. Look where we come from, Morocco. We've accomplished all these. Oh, it's some straight up pimp shit. You know what I'm saying? It's some straight up pimp shit. And that is what happened to Will Smith. Will need to come on, man, and come down to the I.S.U.P.K. and come talk to me, man. And sit down and let me help get his mind out of that. His family need to go to him and say, man, you got to go talk to the general, man. And get him out of that mind, that brainwashing that he's in before it's too late. Before he go kill somebody or do something or kill himself because he can't please her, because that's what happens too. A pimp a woman all the way out to where she can't believe she can never please him and commit suicide or wake up from the abuse and see how abused she's been and kill herself. And that brother there sound like just that. That nigga laughed, then got angry, then slapped Chris, then cursed him out, then cried after the award, then went out in the club and partied that night like nothing ever happened. That's a Negro that's not stable. And the reason he's not stable is because his emotions are controlled by Jada. She presses what button for him to have. You can be happy now. Party. You should be angry. Look how they talking about me. That's what she does. You know what I mean? Just like a pimp teach a woman, you got to smile. You got to laugh at him. You got to get that money out of him. Like he want her to perform. That's what Jada wants him to do. It's evil as hell. Give me a couple more scriptures. I'm going to get up off and we're going to go on to something else. Go ahead.
Khan.
Let me know when it's 9:30. Or is it 10:30? Right? 10:30. 10:30 now? Okay, a couple more quick ones.
Khan. Isaiah chapter 51 and verse 23. But I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee.
I put it in the hand of them that afflict thee. You being afflicted, but you don't see you being afflicted. Will don't see that she's committing a full-out psychological warfare on him and has been for years. Has exploited the fact that he loved his mother and didn't want to do what his father did, and she exploited it, man, at any cost, to the point, and he wanting it so bad, which is once again why your daddy left your mama, and if you got to, you better leave her too. You better be ready to leave her at least, because otherwise you're going to be a slave to any smart-ass broad that see that you don't want to leave a woman because of what happened with your mother. So now she'll use that again. What? You doing what? Well, I'm going to leave you. We can't have an open relationship. I can't have sex with what's the name? Well, then I got to leave you. We got to have a divorce because, I'm in pain and I have issues and I grew up differently, you know what I'm saying? And so I got to, be free to be who I am, to discover myself, to figure out who I am. So I got to have an open relationship, and she go put a rod in her mouth and bring the nigga on the red carpet right in front of you. And ain't nothing you could even say about it. And you supposed to be from West Philly. You West Philly born and raised. So what's up with that? All of a sudden you West Philly to smack Chris Rock, but you ain't West Philly while Azalea is putting nothing but straight up plumbing work on your ex-woman. That's mind control. You understand? Like Chris Rock ain't do nothing so harmful to the broad, but this cat go put a rod in her mouth and you ain't slapping him. That mean you can only be angry at what she wants you to be angry at. You can't be angry at what's actually happening. You could only be angry at what she wants you to be angry at. Go ahead, Go ahead, Salaki. Go ahead, Mara. Was you trying to say something? You died?
No, sir.
Okay, go ahead, Mara. Salaki.
If I could, sir, that was so heavy. About what you was just saying, Salaki. It slipped my mind, sir. But you was just saying something.
How she could only be mad. He could only be mad at what she wants him to be mad.
And if I could, sir, when you said they blame you for it, like when she blamed Will Smith and said Will Smith was bad in the bedroom.
Yes.
Like that's such an abuser. It's like it's your fault.
Like you wasn't a hoe. Go ahead, Mariah.
If I may, sir, you can go ahead, sir.
No, go ahead.
No, if I may, it's like you the reason why I see. I was brought up just like you said. I'm brought up differently. I was this, I was that, and then I go get this cat and bring him on a red carpet. But really, Will, it's your fault because you was bad in bed. So that's such like psychological damage, man.
And America did the same thing. What did Rudy Giuliani say? Well, we have cops in your neighborhood so much because you are the ones doing the majority of the crime. Because we are the ones that you doing the majority of stealing from. We're the ones that you're starving. We're the ones you committing racism against. But he turned around and say, really, this police abuse is really because y'all committing so much crime. We have to put so much police in your neighborhood. That's why this is happening. You understand? That's all. You just stop the crime. And, it'll be fine. In other words, submit. Let us pimp you. Stop resisting. And, brother, then you'll end up like Will Smith. You'll be halfway ready to snap, crackle, and pop. Come on, Mariah.
One last thing.
Do
I don't want
it,
to, if I could, sir.
Get down.
That is just like us in America. When they start saying, black man, it's your fault because everything you just said, then the abused person start to say, well, black people kill black people. Will Smith say, well, you better keep my name out your wife's mouth because it ain't her fault, it's my fault. I should have did better in the bedroom. I can't do, like, it's somehow because of you.
Like, I got to stand up now. I should have stopped that rod in her mouth, but I couldn't stop that rod. So now I got to stop you. I got to turn on my brother. I couldn't get past the slave master destroying and putting me in poverty in the project. Right. So I got to rob your house now. I got to shoot you now. Black on black crime, Latino on Latino crime. And listen, here's another bit, if I could. Why was it that when he had the meltdown, why was it that the only two prominent black actors in the whole Oscars had to run over to him to calm him down? Why ain't no white actor? Why ain't John Travolta, his boy, run up and say, Will, calm down, calm down? Why did Denzel Washington and Samuel L. Jackson have to be the ones to calm him down? I'll tell you why. Because they're victims of abuse too. Whoa, you got to chill, man. You can't have the pimp thinking that we bad hoes. You don't want the pimp saying, yo, what them hoes doing over there? Y'all hoes doing what all you hoes do. They don't want that. Why is it? Now, remember, that was a spontaneous situation. Why didn't white boys come over and say, Will, man, they know him. They at parties with him. They doing movies with him. They co-starring with him. Why they didn't do nothing? Because that's some straight up pimp shit. And black actors are caught up in it too. And they got to now we're going to look bad in front of master. We live in two lives. Go ahead,
I may, sir. You don't want to draw the attention of the cops on us.
Yes.
You don't want to. That's like,
yes. You're right. That's exactly what it is. And brother, it means our mind belongs to the slave master. And it is what the Christ is trying to get our mind away from. You understand? That's why he says, seek ye the kingdom of heaven. Because he know you right now, you seeking the kingdom of your slave master. That's why the Sadducees and Pharisees got him killed. Because they said the Romans, whom they were serving, would come and take away our place. Because he's talking about a different kingdom. And they can't have you talking about thinking freely and outside of the way the pimp wants you to think. The empire. You can't do that. And so they coming at your neck. You know what I'm saying? Give me some more. How many more scriptures you got on this one?
A little bit more on this and then one more after that, sir.
Okay, beautiful. Go ahead.
Khan, which have said to thy soul, bow down, that we may go over.
It's said to, and it didn't say it's said to you by force. Said to your soul. And that's what we've become. We all love America. We all, the red, white, and blue. We suffering, but we gonna get there together. But what has really happened is we bowed our soul down for them to walk over. And that's what Jada did to him. Jada made him bow his soul down so she can trample all over him. And that's exactly what she did. Had affairs, probably lesbian affairs, probably walking around with that bald head on some dyke mess, all of that. She trampled all over him because she asked him to put his soul down, and he did it all for the hope that he would not be like his father. Go ahead.
If I may, sir, what you bringing out is so heavy, and it reminds me that just hit me just a couple years ago. Jada was the main one that was actually protesting the Oscars, saying we shouldn't go. Maybe, when she was having her movies and it wasn't getting nominated, she was like, Will, we not going to the Oscars, we going to protest. But now this time around, Will's starting to get nominated. All them years of him not going, this time he might win, he go. Now, you show that demon come out and show full control. Even when the brothers had to go up there and calm him down, she didn't get up and say not one word to him. Didn't even look in his direction.
Nothing. She sat back like, yeah, because she knew that she caused that. She knew she caused it because she knew the control she had over him. She's abusing him so bad that all she got to do is look a certain way. And Will Smith is out that chair acting a fool. All she got to do is look. He's like a child. You know how when you got a child and your child know when you give him that look? Like, hey, you better stop that. They know to chill right away. All they got to do is look at you and they know to chill. All you got to do is put your hand on your hip like, what the hell are you doing? You ain't got to say a word. They know right off the bat, oh, shoot, daddy is upset. That's what she did to Will. And listen, that's what America does to us. As soon as you see the patrol car, all he got to do is pull up behind you. And already you on your best behavior. Because, of course, he will beat your ass the same way she has taught Will that I will give you absolute hell if you do not do what the hell I say. You know what I mean? She's a monster, man. And listen, and it's so good to talk about this because there's so many monsters destroying brothers in the hood. 90% of the brothers who you think are good brothers because they stick together with their wives. I ain't talking about brothers in the UPK. The brothers in the UPK stick with their wives, but they rule with an iron fist. That ain't what I'm talking about. 90% of the brothers in the world that you see out there in a relationship with their wife that seems like they staying together, 90% of the time she is ruling over him and she's the authority over him. And for the sake of having a marriage that's together, he will acquiesce to her authority. He will instead submit to her authority for the sake of having that. And that's why, brother, when Christ came to get Peter and them, he told them to leave everything they have and follow him. And they said, we have given up wives and children and everything we have. What shall we get? And Christ said, you're going to get 100-fold in this world and in the world to come. You understand? The kingdom of heaven. And that's why it was so extreme. And that's why this topic is so extreme. Because you got to break the slave master's abuse, to break the narcissistic abuse of a goddamn child molester, you're going to have to be strong and ready to give up everything if you need to build Christ's kingdom where you will actually mentally be free. Like you looking at us like we crazy on that corner. We are totally mentally free in the ISUPK. We don't care how you think about us, how you look at us, whether you like what we say or don't like what we say. We could give a damn about it. We know that we please in the Most High who's given us the kingdom that we should have where we will be free. So who cares if what we say don't match with the slave master? That's why you don't like when they come give us a boot kiss. You don't like when they give us a boot kiss because, of course, it was okay that we kissed their boots in slavery. But it is very uncomfortable. Imagine you out on the block one day and the pimp pull up in his Rolls Royce, and all of a sudden the whore, she come up to him, he get out the car, bitch, where my money? And she smacked the shit out of him, say, nigga, kiss my boot. And he get down there and kiss the boot. You're going to be like, oh, that's not how this usually goes. You're going to be like, this is backwards. And that's what's happened. We've been the hoe. But brothers done come out of the brainwashing, and now they got the pimp being pimped for them. And it's mentally, it messes up the mind of the average black person. If you don't get there, you can't pimp the pimp unless you woke wide awake. As long as you under the spell of the pimp, like he ain't gonna never get control of Jada if that's what he want. He'll never get control of her as long as his mind is under her. Until he wakes up and come out from under her, she'll always rule over him. And the same with this empire. Until whatever this empire is charming you with leaves your mind, then they will always charm you to get you back on the block, to pimp you even further. As long as having a career and loving, that's why in every movie they got the man, think of your family. They constantly reinforcing that. And you should have a blessed family like the brothers do in the truth. But you can't have a blessed family if it means you got to give up your soul or give your strength over to your woman or submit yourself to the empire. Then you better be ready to lose your family, man. And Will wasn't willing to do that. And of course, silly, stupid black women, the ones of you out there that look at it like he's honorable for not leaving her no matter what. You're a fool and he's destroyed. That's why his son is gay. And his son is more than gay. Okay, being gay is the least of his son's problem. His son got all kind of psychological issues way beyond him just being gay. And that's because of abuse. You understand? Give me whatever you got next, and then we're going to slide off of it. You only got one more scripture anyway, right? Let's hit this, and then we're moving on.
Proverbs chapter 30 and verse 20. Such is the way of an adulterous woman.
Such is the way of an adulterous woman. A woman that'll go out, man, and sleep with anybody. And brother, your slave master is just that. That's why they're getting ready to bring 100,000 Ukrainians in this country. Like 100,000 people have not come in the country in 1 year ever. Never before in the history of America did they have 100,000 immigrants in the same year. But they're going to do 100,000 at once. Not even over a year. They're going to move 100,000 people in here at once. We'll show you they do whatever the hell they want to do. And that, brother, is just what you reading. Read that again.
Such is the way of an adulterous woman.
That's the way of an adulterous woman. She's supposed to be taking care of you as an American, but you don't mean nothing. You black. She's an adulterous woman. She going out to take care, have sex with who she want to have sex with. She gonna bring them Ukrainians in because they're valuable to her. Damn what you did for 400 years, you ain't valuable. And the same with a whore. Like you married her and took care of her and bought her a house, put clothes on her back, help her pay the bills, had kids with her, all that, but she's a hoe. So she don't give a damn about all that you done did for her. She want to go do what the hell she want to do and be a hoe. Go ahead.
She eateth and wipeth her mouth.
That's heavy. She eat, wipe her mouth, meaning the dinner is over. So she clean off any gravy or whatever's on her mouth. She wipe it away. Go ahead.
And saith, I have done no wickedness.
I've done no wickedness. She wipe away what the hell she did. Can you by any chance give me the statement that Jada gave recently after this incident, what she said, if you can. Listen, she made a statement that was so callous and so careless and so selfish and so dismissive of everything that happened. It was ridiculous. Will Smith, man, like a brainwashed, psychologically destroyed brother, took the greatest accomplishment he could have ever had and trashed himself so that Jada Pinkett could be glorified. That is textbook abuse. And I wonder why all you black psychologists ain't saying nothing about it. You quick to say something when a woman was, y'all was all over the case with Whitney Houston. Bobby Brown is pimping her. Bobby Brown is mistreating her. You ain't saying nothing about Will Smith, let alone us as a people. And what I'm saying to him is out of love, because that thing he did to Chris Rock, he's supposed to be in jail for that, man. They was supposed to lock him up for that. You understand? To violate that brother all to satisfy this narcissistic pimp, this narcissistic child molester. You so brutalized under this narcissistic child molester that you got to turn around and abuse your brother just to satisfy this monster, man. And many brothers have turned on other brothers over some disgusting whore-ass woman. Many brothers, many friends have broken up over some hoe who tried to sleep with your boy, and when your boy didn't, turn around and told you that your boy tried to sleep with her and turned you against your boy. Or wanted to ban him from the house, or angry with him. You wonder why she hated him so much, because she tried to sleep with him in some cases. Or some other evil that went on and separated you, man. Scriptures say love the brotherhood. You're supposed to be on the brotherhood and making sure that no false witnesses bared against your brother when it comes to you and him. Instead, you're going to smack him on the stage for a bald-headed alopecia, child molesting, disgusting, sleeping with your son's friend's hoe and abusing you. That brother need help. And so does all Black and Latino America need help. Go ahead, Art.
Well, Con, Jada said, this is a season for healing, and I'm here for it.
You hear that? What a callous bitch. What a callous bitch. She didn't give a damn at what he did to Chris. She didn't give a damn at how she had no reaction to what he did. She didn't even give a damn about what he did. She didn't even say, I want to thank my husband for defending me. You know what I mean? Nothing. This is a time for healing, so let's heal. In other words, let's move on from this now. You understand? I pimped my hoe. My hoe smacked him like my hoe was supposed to do on cue when they saw me mad and rolling my eyes. It's over with. Let's go on back to business now. That's a disgusting pig, that broad right there. That is a disgusting pig. And if you could see that in her, then just maybe you could see what kind of disgusting pig is ruling over you in this empire. Blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. Because the same demon that's in her is the same demon that's ruling over you. That's where they say stuff like, let's let justice take its course. That's the same thing this nasty hoe said. In other words, you get abused, your child get murdered in the street by the police or whatever, and they say, well, let us get all the evidence. Let us look at the tapes. That's the same thing. Let's move on from this. Same thing Jay-Z did. He mimicked his slave master, that low-life Negro. He mimicked his slave master when he got up there over the NFL situation and said, basically, let's move on. Damn that, let's go. Mm-hmm. Let's go to Ukraine. Was you finished with the scripts on that? Let's go to the Ukraine for this last few minutes. How much time we got, Mara? 8 minutes. Okay, you ain't got to tell me, but note the number check, all right? And, okay, we got 8 minutes. Let's take me to Ukraine, man. I think that was enough on that situation with Will and Jada.
Like
sir. They need help. We as a people, we need help. We need psychological help from what has happened to us in this place. In the Israelite School of UPK, we are fully ready and prepared to give you what you need. Many of you need to sit down and talk to the general, man. You need to sit down and talk to me, man, about what you are experiencing. Not just me, General Muhammad and General Mayak, General Haas, General Shalmar, General Q. You understand? General Kathum Gabar, the captains. You need somebody to sit down and be able to tell somebody what the hell has gone on with you. You need to come and talk to me, man. All of you out there. Go ahead.
Sir. U.S. to accept up to 100,000 Ukrainian refugees, provide more aid.
They're going to provide more aid. That's how a pimp do. Pimp will tell you, don't you tell me what I'm doing with any one of these other hoes. You do what the hell I told you to do. If I told you don't let the Mexicans in, don't let them in. Don't worry about how I'm letting the Ukrainians in. You keep the Mexicans out like I told you to do. That's how a pimp operates, and that's what's going on with you. 100,000 more Ukrainians getting ready to come in this country at one time than all the people that have come in this country over the whole last year and the year before that. That means you let in who you want to let in based on what it is that you like. Meanwhile, you sitting around touting the rule of law. They've come here illegal. It's the rule of law. Then you change the law whenever you get ready and bring 100,000 of them over here and not a goddamn peep. I don't hear nothing about on Fox News. I don't hear Tucker Carlson saying nothing about them 100,000 Ukrainians coming in here. Not a word. I don't hear Sean Hannity mentioning the border when it comes to them 100,000 Ukrainians coming in here. I don't hear a word about it. But you all up in arms. There's lawlessness at the border. They're bringing in drugs. They're rapists. But you bringing 100,000 Ukrainians in here, no questions asked. You don't even know who they are. You ain't even picked them out yet. No questions asked. You got to wake up, man. You in an abused situation, black man, Latino man. Your baby's locked in cages while he bring 100,000 Ukrainians over here. That's abuse. You in a bad relationship. What about they are as a bull in a net? What about that scripture? Did you read that? And what other ones you holding? Read that one.
Isaiah chapter 51 and verse 20. Thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets.
That's your sons. When it say they fainted, meaning they broken. They broken from the abuse of the empire that they under. They broke it. Same way Jada done broke Will like you break a goddamn stallion. That's what the hell is going on right there. Go ahead.
Comic-Con, as a wild bull in a net.
Right. You like a wild bull in a net. Go ahead. There's more in that?
A little bit more, sir.
Go ahead.
They are full of the fury of the Lord.
You full of the fury of the Lord like a wild bull in the net, meaning you trying to get out this net. You fighting, but you don't know how to get out of it because the Lord put us in it. And your pimp keeping you in it. And you don't understand the way out of it is to turn your back on your slave master, man. That's how you get out of it. You turn your back on him. Go ahead.
Comic-Con, the rebuke of thy God.
The rebuke of the Most High, man. He let the pimp get over you and abuse you because you refuse to follow those laws, statutes, and commandments. Don't play that tape, Marah. You just use the still shot. But don't play the tape because they're going to flag it. All right? But it shows you right there, 100,000 refugees. That's more refugees than in all of the last 2 years in the United States, man. All of them combined from all over the world didn't come up to 100,000 immigrants in the country. And, of course, they're using the word refugee. But they ain't using that word for them Central and South Americans and them Haitians running. They assassinated the president. They refugees. Meanwhile, you can give a damn about them, but that's all right. That's why I.S.U.P.K went down to that border. Big shout out to Captain Yatazak and all his men with him. You understand? Went down there and handled that business for them Levite brothers and sisters, man. Big shout out to Bunaloy and all of them out of New York. They worked that thing, man, in them languages. Like, it don't matter. You got to come out the mindset of this place, man. All right? Give me some more on Ukraine. What else is going on?
Connor Wakan, sir.
What that Middle East period?
Connor Wakan, sir.
Time check.
Time check, sir. 10:58.
All right. Go ahead.
Connor Wakan, sir. It says Biden warns of global food shortages as Russia-Ukraine war upends wheat supplies.
You hear that? They get ready to cut this food off in about 2 seconds. Everything that we told you that's going to happen in biblical prophecy is happening. Every last bit of it. It's time to wake up. You in the Third World War. What you waiting on? You looking for the Third World War? You in the Third World War. You already in it. You don't know it, and the empires don't know it. But you in it. And it's going to unfold. They trying to quiet it down now, and they might get it quiet down for a minute. Means nothing. They're going right back at it, and they're going to war, and it's going to be a big war. And he's already warning of the food shortages, man. They're going to be bringing garbage to the ghetto. You're going to be, in a minute, they're going to be bringing nothing but old and rotten food to the ghetto, man. In about 2 seconds. That's what'll be coming to the hood. Go ahead.
It says President Biden on Thursday warned of global food shortages as a result of the Russian invasion of Ukraine.
Go ahead.
Connor Wakan, predicting that the war would upend global wheat supplies.
That the war would upend global supplies. All that cutting off the economics and all that, they cutting their own selves off. They done built a worldwide network with these Edomites all over the world, including the Russians. They cut one off, its effects everywhere. This is the end of the world, man. You ain't got to worry about dieting. Don't even worry about going on a diet. You ain't got nothing to worry about. Don't even worry about going on a diet. You talk about you want to make a kale shake and all that. You're going to be eating nothing but a kale shake in a minute. You ain't going to have to worry about it. Oh, I'm eating too much. I'm gaining too many pounds. Don't worry about that. Don't even sweat that. You're going to see black people on a diet like you never seen before. 500-pound woman going to be 120 pounds. In 2 seconds. We ate our leather girdles. We ate our sandals at the end of the Roman Empire for punishment. Every time we came out of slavery, we caught absolute hell. That's part of getting out of the slavery. That's why it's called birthing pains. A child waiting to be delivered. When we came out of Egypt, we fought like hell and had to cross that Red Sea. When we got out of the Greek and Roman Empire, we fought like hell to get away from them, man. And the same will happen in this empire. To get out of the captivity after our punishment is always hell. Always. And we in the last one, you in the Third World War. So brothers and sisters, man, join us, man, April 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 out here. In Cocoa Beach, Florida, man, the Lord's Passover, okay, is going down during those days in next month, April, Cocoa Beach, Florida. It's going to be amazing. Worldwide brothers and sisters coming together as one to renew our oath with the Most High, holding the Black Party to renew our oath as if we all troopers again and troopettes starting again. We're coming together as one. Join us out there, man. I want to invite you to pay your tithes, man. Support this truth. ISUPK.com. Go to the website. Support this truth. Help me with this work that I'm doing. Do your part to support this truth, man. I know it is not easy, but if you don't invest in here, you will have nothing later on when you need it the most. Trust me when I tell you, the Lord will build this nation. You'll have soldiers there to help you, brothers and sisters with to deal with your hardships, and we will help one another get strong. So support this truth. Stop making these churches rich. You saw that they was all charlatans during the pandemic. Wake the hell up. Don't go back to that same vomit and same BS that they've been hustling you with. Come into the truth, learn the truth, get educated on how to fix yourself towards the end. And I'll see you on this channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, 9 p.m. Join me this Saturday at 9 p.m. I'm going to get together with the captains, man. We do it from all across the country. Man, we got captains coming in from Cali, Texas, Memphis, D.C., New York, Philly. It was a blast last week. Check it out on the channel. Come back, see us again Saturday and Monday. I come in with the heavy hitters, with all the generals, man. We get it on. This channel is popping like we can't even believe. Check us out, man. Every 3 times a week. Hey, I'm out of here, man. Big shout out to Marah, Yediah, holding me down like they always do. We'll see y'all next time, man. Live on the UPK, y'all. Shalom.
The coronavirus pandemic has now claimed 5 million lives. Nearly 2 years after the first outbreak in the Chinese city of Wuhan, COVID-19 remains a leading cause of death around the world.
After the U.S. warned all day of a full-scale Russian invasion of Ukraine, that it was imminent, Vladimir Putin has just addressed the Russian people moments ago, announcing what Putin called the start of a military special operation, in his words, to demilitarize Ukraine.
Russia overnight launched its long-anticipated attack on Ukraine, striking military posts across the country. An unprovoked war in Europe is now underway.
Theo.
Let me tell you something, black man. I wish, I implore you, I beg you, brother, to open up the Bible, turn the music off, tell your woman go in the other room, and just open up the Bible and start checking it out. Write down these scriptures we talk. I don't care what religion you in. I don't care what you believe in. Examine this for yourself, man. I did not understand life until I opened this book.
Why is Hebrew Academy so important to you, and why is it so important for you to graduate this generation?
Because I got a duty to my people, to my family. It's so important to me to do this, because if I fail, then my whole family fails.
So I can help my people. I want to care about my brothers and sisters. All these other nations keep oppressing us. I want to make this change in my brothers.
It's important for you to graduate Hebrew Academy.
It's important for me to graduate Hebrew Academy so my brothers can see the strength that can pull them out from the hell, the condition that they're in. Man, it's important for me to graduate Hebrew Academy to protect my brothers and sisters, man, and stand strong for my nation. Oh, God.
Why do you think it's important for you to go to trials and graduate Hebrew Academy?
So I can be a real nigga.
Real nigga, huh?
Oh, God, sir.
Mikey, why do you think you should go to trials and graduate Academy?
We follow the men above us, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
You built for this.
I'm ready for war.
Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The week of Passover is packed with exciting events, hosted by the I.S.U.P.K. and Commanding General YAHANNA. On Tuesday, a deep-sea fishing trip with the generals. Arrival and boarding time at 7:30 a.m. The boat leaves at 8 a.m. sharp.
Then on Wednesday, April 13th, join us for the annual lamb slaughter from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m., making sure the children of Israel have fresh lamb for the Passover.
Then, after that, the I.S.U.P.K. is having a fish fry from 4 p.m. until, which will lead to the scripture breakdown class with General Manhood. Then, on Thursday morning, Hebrew Academy participants will see if they have what it takes to endure the Hebrew Academy trials.
Commanding General YAHANNA has something special lined up for the children with a children's party from 10:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m.
Come join Commanding General YAHANNA on Cocoa Beach as we renew our oath unto the Lord.
Because he's supposed to understand the power of the Most High that would destroy him and will destroy him real soon. Read.
That assuredly, knowing unto what oaths they had given credence, they might afterward be of good cheer.
You hear that? They was of good cheer, came along with the Lord as one, and became of good cheer while tens of thousands of Egyptians died. I know y'all don't like to talk about this, but you better put this war spirit back in you, Israel. You better get that spirit back in you, man. You better get that spirit of warfare back in you, because the Lord gonna put blood on the streets of America and around this world, brother.
Followed by a hotel ballroom, all black and Hebrew Academy dinner from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m.
And then, on Friday, April 15th at 5 p.m., join us for the Lord's annual Passover commanded in the scriptures.
At 5 p.m. sharp.
On Saturday, April 16th, the Feast of Unleavened Bread. That's right, we're going to keep the Feast of Unleavened Bread from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Commanding General Yahanna has it all lined up for you, Israel. Come keep the Lord's Passover. Shalom.